Me new George. Studio too cheap to pay Brendan Fraser.
What the fuck? We have returned to a universe that I'm not sure I wanted to return to.
I wanna go.
At least not like this. That is the George of the Jungle universe. If you didn't see my review of the first movie, I think it's like right there, buckle up. This sequel is a doozy. I mean, or is it just a straight to DVD remake, really? George of the Jungle 2 opens to an animated intro, which is great, it's whatever, but probably the only nice part of the movie, if my memory serves me right. Then the narrator says something that even 7-year-old me found offensive.
Huh? Wait a minute. Who the heck are you?
Me new George. Studio too cheap to pay Brendan Fraser.
The studio is literally aware that this is just a cash grab.
It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents?
Like, what the fuck is this?
Here we go, boy. Fetch.
Why would you do my buddy Shep like this? I thought the first movie had bad CG, but I mean, just holy shit.
Come on, Shepard.
The entire cast is different, and they have this kid who plays George's son, who's in like 3 scenes in the entire movie. And they keep referencing George as the new George. We get the joke. If you thought the CG elephant was bad, voila! Look at this video of this fucking snake. Just look how ridiculous this looks. Who approved the scene? What's the reason for the 2 watch out for that tree gags, by the way, within the first, like, 5 minutes of the... We just getting those out of the way at this point? Okay, the rest of these animals are absolutely fucking terrifying.
It's disgusting. I gotta wear a hat.
What the fuck? The animals have a meeting with George about the fact that no one can agree on where to take a shit, which is kind of hilarious, but they have to make a zug-zug treaty.
Yes, Zug-Zug Treaty. This is Disney. If we're gonna do a Zug-Zug joke, we're gonna make it educational.
This movie has already reused the same songs.
Make a simple question, looking for an answer.
Really mimics the plot of the first movie instead of continuing it. Thomas Hayden Church reprises his role as Lyle Vandegroot. Why he still wanted his name attached to this movie, I couldn't tell you. Thomas, my guy, all I'm saying is I'm sorry for shitting on you for this one, but I love your work. I'm still gonna shit on you for it.
Is it really necessary to show that scene?
The whole movie continues to reintroduce Ursula's mother, Beatrice, yet again. She's replaced by another actress.
Important that I get to Ape Mountain today. It's my grandson's 5th birthday.
Usually, when a character is replaced, it's for a good reason, and I give that a chance, but when you replace every single fucking character in the movie, not a sequel. I digress. I could repeat the same thing 6 times, it wouldn't matter. Beatrice goes to Junior's birthday party and has completely regressed. At the end of the first movie, you see Beatrice finally getting along with George.
Join their hearts forever in wedded bliss.
Why the hell's at the moon?
So why the fuck is this happening? What happened between them now that made Ursula's entire family hate George again? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Hello, Junior. Well, where's that husband of yours? Shouldn't he be at his own son's birthday party?
I'm sure if they tried to explain it, just be like, oh, well, this is the new George, LOL, or some shit like that. What a dumpster fire.
You don't seem to have enough time for your subjects or your family. Which is why you could see how much happier Ursula and Judy would be if they came back to San Francisco.
Like, you literally had the exact same conversation with George about how George should abandon Ursula in the first movie. This clip is unedited from the movie. On an unrelated note, I just had to talk about this. Just watch this clip.
Another mimosa, Mr. Tukey Tukey?
Tucky, Tucky.
Oh, Tukey, you cad. Oh, Tukey, you cad.
This dude is so much creepier in this movie. He has her face etched into a pillow and painted on his wall.
Lyle had entered the poker game. See if you can figure out which one he is.
Tukey A, which sounds exactly how you'd expect it.
Tucky, Tucky. So you're saying that George is suffering deep psychological damage due to his unresolved conflict over whether Ursula's happy and whether he's a good husband and king, and these conflicts are keeping him up nights and he's in need of my immediate advice and counsel. Tucky, Tucky.
George and Ursula take the kid on a day out into the big city. What's that?
New George looked pretty good in Armani too.
Okay, you won't even let me forget that it isn't Brendan Fraser long enough for me to give the guy a shot. George comes upon Ape selling all his furniture, tells Ape what's happening in his life.
Don't be ridiculous. Ursula adores you. She's probably just suffering from the 5-year itch.
We then get the Lion King reference that just goes on for a little too long.
George of the Jungle has deserted you. But if you elect me your king, I promise to make every Tuesday Meatless Tuesday.
It's too much. I think they really just got excited with the CG. And I mean, like, I get that you're excited to use it, but oi.
Lyle unfortunately finds the deed to Ape Mountain and pockets that fucking shit faster than his dignity.
The lion dude, presumably the one that George beat up in the first movie, declares himself king of the jungle in place of George.
In every other story, the king of the jungle is a lion. I now declare myself king of the jungle.
I had to rewatch this scene though, so not for the fact that the story was so compelling, the entire sequence looks like a cutscene for PS3 game. George is at a Vegas-style show for Ape, where the opening act is a girl who got hypnotized into eating ice cream, but then throws up because she's lactose intolerant.
Oops. No! God, please!
Comes on stage, and we get treated to a really terrible Monkees cover band.
Hey, hey, I'm the monkey! People say I'm monkey wrong!
Ape, you did great in the first movie. You know, we loved you. The end number was great. We stayed after the credits for it, and you deserve better. After literally laying out the plot of the first movie, just in case we forgot, Lyle harnesses his magical charm and attempts to win over Ursula. To which George convinces the band to play his theme song.
1 banana, 2 bananas.
His theme song! You've got to be fucking kidding me. I can't.
And we've missed you.
Speaking of things you've missed, you know who's looking amazing? Lyle.
So Hypno Dude is commissioned by Ursula's wonderful mother to hypnotize her into thinking that her husband is Lyle, and that she's never met George in the first place. Deja fucking vu!
Oh no. You got to him. Mother, what did you say?
I simply said that if he really cared for you, he'd leave you alone and let you get on with your life and marry Lyle.
I am not marrying Lyle, Mother.
Holy shit, they even recreated the horse scene.
Kind of.
Are you sure Lyle's
Yeah.
my husband?
George gets ready to leave and get Ursula back, but he also conspires with Ape to get the deed to his land back, which is so much like the first movie where they go back to get Ape. They do end up having to go right back into the jungle to fight the bad guys. It's the same exact plot, carbon copy. They need to get to San Francisco. They bring a kangaroo with? I guess, I don't know. More bad CGI on the screen, so like my head just kind of hurts. They run from some people who are trying to kidnap Ape so he can start serving his time in Lyle's little fucked up dream world.
We'll see how funny you are when you're stuck in our special cage at the Vandergrid Zoo. In case you've forgotten. You still owe us 17 years of employment.
George gets chased through the casino, and him and Ape, like, barely scrape out alive, which that scene was kind of fun. Just kidding. The chase was comically slow. Seriously did the tree gag again. Like a third or fourth time at this, I've lost track at this point. The cops are after them now too, by the way. George and Ape find themselves on the roof of the casino, and George ends up using a police ladder they lowered for more officers.
Now, don't you think that's beneath us?
No, Ape. No, we're not, sadly. Oh, and they did the tree joke again.
The Empire State Building. At least the Las Vegas version.
You didn't think we were going to pass up this parody.
You piggyback that with a King Kong joke literally seconds after. I am just... can't do it. Can't do it. That's it. We're done. That should be the end of the video. All right. I guess we'll give it a good old college try. Popped out of college twice, so don't get too excited. Ursula and her friends have this entire scene where, I mean, I get the idea of the scene is that they're staring into space and daydreaming. I can't help but feel like they're both reading off a teleprompter.
4th of July fireworks. With Lyle, there's just
Lyle.
So much for fantasy.
Really awkward. George comes to tell Ursula that he loves her and that the whole hypnotizing thing makes her think that George is some random stranger. So naturally, he knocks her out and gets his son to come back with him to Ape Mountain as well.
The family heads back to the jungle as Lyle destroys it. The 3-second motion blurred shot of these coyotes is the only good CGI in the entire movie.
Go, boy!
George squeezes the lion's ears until he sleeps, and then they start to claim the jungle back.
George wished life always this easy.
I also just realized the kangaroo just kind of disappeared. Not sure where he went. They don't mention him. They just kind of shows back up later on.
And they'd consisted of a dim-witted king, an elephant who thought he was a dog, an ape, a bird, a little monkey, and a kangaroo.
They beat all the construction workers, aside from one. They also didn't want George hitting a woman, so they made a kangaroo do it, which, honestly, I don't know which one's worse. George Jr. jumps into the dozer with his dad and stops it from killing Ursula. Oh, and Ursula woke up all of a sudden, conveniently. She's still hypnotized, and she thinks that Lyle is her husband, despite the kid begging her not to take him away from his dad. Lyle tries to get him to leave, so George gives him a wedgie.
George! George!
Lyle is plucked from the story by a giant hand because he talks shit to the narrator.
I think I speak for everyone, including the audience, when I say this constant stream of annoying alliteration is annoying! Come on!
That hurts! Wait!
Narrator ties up the loose ends, and they renew their vows, literally ending the movie in the exact same setting as the first one.
George want everyone to know, from now on, George not available at all hours.
God damn it, why did I watch this movie? It's just a huge disappointment all around. But wait, there's one more thing you have to see. So this terrible scene at the end is a prime example of CGI being the one appeal for this movie. They also ended the movie on a 5th, watch out for that tree reference.
Jungle surfing not so hard.
George, watch out for that!
After that nightmare, I think I'm gonna get hypnotized into believing this movie doesn't exist. Well, do me a favor, look down in the description. I think I dropped something. If you could just run down, grab that little red button, and just viciously fucking shake it, just fucking hit, just subscribe. Just do it, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.